What is going on, y'all? Chris Moses here with Gospel Progressions University. Have you ever found yourself listening to a song to hear the parts, but you couldn't really hear the parts? In other words, you went to listen to it to learn what you needed to learn, whether it was the organ, the keys, the bass, the drums, and some of it was clear, but the most important parts was just it's like a garbled mess. Well, if you're anything like me, you could try to look for the MIDI file. The MIDI file may or may not exist online. Number two, you may actually try to go to find the multi-track. I've done that. But there's not a multi-track for every single song there is available, a song that you may want to sing. So what do? Just don't learn the part, don't play it? You could do that, or you could take advantage of what's been all over the news lately with AI. And yes, AI has been a huge influence, and it's gonna continue to be on music, as far as playing music, producing music, singing music, all that stuff. But what I wanna show you today is something very exciting. This may not be a big deal to you. You may have seen something like this before. In fact, back in 2008, Audacity has or had the ability to actually separate the vocals from a basic track from the main track. Now, it didn't sound all that great, but it was better than nothing at the time. That's what they had. But now with this AI, and I'm going to tell you about this software in a second here, it is incredible. I mean, it's not as like the original multi-track version as clean, but it is pretty darn clean as far as I'm able to hear parts now. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. You're hearing piano parts and bass parts. It just makes learning a whole lot easier, and it develops your ear so you can hear what's truly being played. All right, so let's check this out. This is the site now, lalal.ai, and you see up here the big red banner. They're having a sale, but you can actually check these out for free. Okay, you can listen to about 30 seconds, I believe, of a sample of any track. All right, so now what we need to do is just hit select file. I downloaded a track, Strong Tower, that I spelled incorrectly, Strong Tower, and it's queuing up now. So it's processing. The AI is going to process the file for me and break this down into, I don't know, about 12 or so sections, right? So now we see, yeah, what is it? 6, 7, 8, 9, so I think, right? 9 or 10. So what it does here, it gives you the first one here that it processed, the piano part. And this is the part without the piano. So it not only extracts the piano, but it gives you the track that sans the piano. We can take a listen to that, all right? The song, I'm sure you may have heard it before, is Dwayne Woods' Strong Tower. All right.
Come on, put
There's
your
no
hands
piano in
together.
this.
We came to celebrate the name of the Lord, that powerful name, the name that's able to protect us, the name that's able to lift us and shield us from our enemies. Anybody want to celebrate that awesome name with me? The writer said, the Lord is my strength. He is my fortress. He's my deliverer. He's my God.
Okay, now,
and he is my rock.
if you haven't, if you've never heard this before, you know, you're like, all right, that doesn't sound too bad, you know, without the piano. Well, you know, if you don't know the song, and it doesn't sound bad. You have a bunch of other instrumentation going on, but what it did, it actually picked the piano part. So we have this part, the bottom track, muted. We can play that back now, okay? And what you hear is this. Put this back in. Now, this is amazing. Not only is it amazing to, you know, help you with those garbled parts that you can't hear, it trains your ear to actually hear the correct thing. So as you can listen to these things, you're in a better position to be able to hear the parts more accurately. All right, when there's no, you know, MIDI file or no multi-track around, or no YouTube video. So it does wonders with monophonic instruments. Like I said, the bass here, we can just click on this. The AI will do all the magic kind of stuff in the background and, you know, whatever. It's just processing, it's queuing it up. And when that all happens, it comes back and it does the exact same thing. You'll have on top the bass track, and on the bottom, you'll have the track sans the bass and without the bass. All right. So let's take a look at that now. It tells you here. So we've got the bass by itself. So you hear a lot of licks, a lot of different things and riffs. So we can mute this and just listen to the track without the actual bass.
That's able to protect us.
You can tell.
The name that's able to lift us and shield us from our enemies.
And I put the bass back in here.
Anybody want to celebrate that awesome name with me?
See, I put this back down. And basically, it's just like having a multi-track, okay, without having access to the multi-tracks. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say you would use this in a context. You probably could in a context in playing live, and like you would use with something like Ableton or you know, any kind of system where you would play back other tracks to fill out your sound. But again, I mean, it's wonderful because you can take this now, of course, and just do the vocal by itself the same way. It processes it the same way. So if you wanted to do, like, you know, if you're into audio, you know, as far as remixing or producing or, you know, making music, you can take the audio track and do an entire remix just from the audio by itself.
Come on, put your hands together. We
Super
came to
clean. I mean,
celebrate
especially
the name
when
of the Lord,
you have it with other
powerful
things.
name, the name that's able to protect
You have the,
us,
you know, the reverb
the
there,
name
the
that's able to lift
delay.
us and shield us from our enemies. Anybody want to celebrate that awesome name with me? The writer said, "The Lord is my
So this is
strength.
all going on,
He is
and you
my
have the
fortress.
instrumentation in the
He's
background.
my deliverer. He's my God, and
And this is without the vocals. Now you can continue to do this. There's all the other parts that are there. I don't know what voice and noise is, but you know, you have the electric guitar. It'll process that. It does each and every part. So I would suggest, you know, to use something like this as a learning tool. You know, even if you may not necessarily be trying to learn the song per se, you can try to listen and see if you can emulate it, and it's more accurate because it kind of shuts everything out where you can actually have access to just that track. I want to hear the guitar part. That's all I care about right now, you know? And I'm trying to get the chords of the line. So you get to hear all of this stuff. And this is what's great, because I think a lot of what we've learned is just to kind of mimic somebody else, but without really getting the nuances of the way they're playing. And that's what this allows. You know, it's like a multi-track, but again, you know, basically it is. It's breaking it down. It's reverse engineering the multi-track, but you may not have access to it, or you may not be able to get it in a pinch. Multi-tracks are expensive just to get one. So yeah, this over here, I think it's a great tool. I mean, one of many. But, you know, as far as AI and how it's been helping us in musicians and actually changing the whole face of music, I think it's wonderful. So check this out. And, you know, of course, their pricing is here. You know, there's different packages they have. You're basically paying for the minutes. If you want more minutes, you're paying more money. All right. Standard volume, your high volume, you pay $100. They give you 1,000 minutes. That's in how much minutes of songs you actually want to process. So they'll time you. You know, if you paid for the $15, well, they'll give you 90 minutes. And every time you process and upload a song and you process it, that takes away from the time that you have. But you can go to town all day and just listen to all kinds of samples, you know, and just go ahead. And I'm not telling you to screen record or anything like that, but you can just go ahead and this so you can listen to it at a separate time. But you can listen to all the samples that you need to. If this is your first time at this channel, you want to check out and download my free guide, What Do Pro Musicians Know That You Don't? It's over at gospelprogressionsuniversity.com/Gospel Keys Pro. I'll go ahead and I'll leave the link in the description, and I'll leave the link to this software in the description. God bless you, and I will see you in the next video.